The CIAA tournament is upon us, and Tolly, Carr, along with Stephen J. Gaither, we have our CIAA 2015 predictions. Stephen, I'm going to let you go with your brackets, and let's start with Tuesday. And who do you have moving forward?
Okay, so we're going to start off with St. Aug and Elizabeth City. I'm going to go with St. Aug. Those guys have been playing pretty good basketball as of late. They had a couple losses to end the season, but they're a team for one game. I think they've got more than Elizabeth City State can handle, so I feel pretty confident picking St. Aug over Elizabeth City.
Well, they're 0-10 in their division, so I can see where the confidence would come from on that, Steve.
Yeah, it's been a rough year for Elizabeth City. So,
all right, Virginia Union and Shaw. Which Virginia Union team do you think is going to show up?
I think it's going to be the team that's got on this that's beaten Bowie State, that's beaten Winston-Salem State, and surprised a couple teams in the last couple weeks. Shaw, they always look like they're about to break out and win something, but I just don't see it in the cards for them this year. I don't have any confidence in them as opposed to their neighbors downtown, down the road in Raleigh. So I'm going to go with Virginia Union.
All right, so you have St. Aug taking on Chowan then on Wednesday, and you have Union and Johnson C. Smith. What do you see happening on Hump Day at the CIAA?
Okay, this one's a little bit tough. Chowan showed a lot of grit this year. They're getting a whole lot better because usually they're playing on the first day of the tournament. The fact that they're not playing on the first day of the tournament this year is a testament to what those guys have done. But I'm gonna go with St. Aug. I've seen them up close a couple times. I like them more. The more that I see them, the more that I like them. And so I'm gonna go with St. Aug. Gonna get a couple more dunks by the ATL and some nice move by Gaskins and some threes by Joe Leaf, and that's gonna get them to day 3.
So you have the Falcons flying into Thursday at the CIAA.
I do. I am on the bandwagon.
All right. Well, let's put a bookmark right there. We'll come back to them. All right. So you have Smith and Union. Who moves forward in that to take on Winston-Salem State?
Johnson C. Smith, early in the year, they struggled. They didn't look like they were going to be, the Johnson C. Smith that we normally see. But what's happened is they've gotten Emilio Parks back up front, who's really beefed them up. Stedman Lemon's been playing great all year. These two teams have played each other. They've both seen each other a little bit this year, but I think I'm going to go with Johnson C. Smith in the home cooking over Virginia Union.
All right, so Thursday, the big boys come out to play. We're just going to go from top to bottom on the bracket here. All right, you have St. Aug there. They've been flying high for 2 days, according to Stephen J.
Right.
Do they make it to Friday night? Do they knock off the #1 seed from the North, Bowie State?
They do not. Bowie State, this is where, you play those couple games and, you don't get that bye and you have to play on the first day. It starts to jump on your back. And I think this is the day that it's going to jump on their back. They're not going to be Bowie State. All
right, Livingstone and the Lincoln. Who do you have?
Tough one right here, man. This might be the toughest match for me to call right now. Livingstone is the defending champs. Lincoln, they were in the running for, but they've been a little bit disappointing this year. They did beat Livingstone earlier this year. I'm going to go with Lincoln in the upset special. Livingstone's been a little hot and cold, especially against the northern teams this year. So,
all right, North meets South, Virginia State, Fayetteville State.
I'm going to go with Virginia State. Two really great senior guards in here, Lamar Kersey for Virginia State and Josh Dawson for Fayetteville State. Virginia State's just been a solid team all year. They've probably been the most steady CIAA team all year, and I don't see them going down the first day. Fayetteville State, they've been up and down. They've played with some teams, but they've just fallen a little short. I think that's going to continue to follow them.
All right, so Winston-Salem State coming off an emotional loss to Livingstone to end the regular season, but they are still the #1 seed in the South. Do they have some revenge on their mind against Johnson C. Smith? How do you see that game?
They're definitely gonna have revenge on their mind. But Johnson C. Smith is gonna come into this game not being intimidated by them by all. I mean, they've already beat them once in Charlotte, and so they're gonna be looking to do it again. But Wilhelmy has a couple of days to get his guys ready for this team, and I think they're gonna have the fresher legs, and they're probably the deeper team. So I'm gonna go with them advancing past Johnson C. Smith.
So you're saying Time Warner Arena and Brave Boy are both in Charlotte, but not the same venue.
Yeah, I'm thinking WSSU is a little bit deeper, and I think that coming off that last game, I don't think that they're going to be the team to flame out the beginning of this year. I think they're gonna have to struggle to contain Parks, but I just don't think that Johnson C. Smith has the depth to. I don't think that their depth is gonna be able to overcome Winston-Salem State.
All right, Stephen J. Gaither, here is where you make your money. Friday night, Final Four, Bowie and Lincoln. They've met twice. Bowie has won both times. Will they do it a third time?
Man, you know what? I really want to be a risk taker because that's kind of what I am, and I want to say that Lincoln is going to break through because it's hard to beat the team 3 times in a season. But Bowie State, I think they have, they have some guys who have been on a championship team before, and they know what it takes to get to the championship game. So I'm going to have them over Lincoln. They're gonna advance to the final again for the second time in 3 years.
All right, Winston-Salem State and Virginia State Friday night, 9 o'clock. Who wakes up Saturday morning with the championship on their mind?
Ooh, tough one right here. It's another tough one. Virginia State. I like Kersey. I like some of the guys that they have inside. If Kersey can get hot and they can get something from the inside, I think they have a chance. But I'm going to take Winston-Salem State, their depth. And if Marquez Jones keeps playing like he's been playing, then they got it. They can very easily run the table.
All right, so Bowie, Winston-Salem, Saturday night. Game's going to be over, I don't know, around 10:30, something like that, 10 o'clock. Who's going to be holding that trophy?
Who's going to be holding the trophy? These two teams have met once in the regular season. Winston was the runner-up last year. But I think I'm going to have to go with Bowie State. They have a coach who's won a championship. They have some players that have some championship game experience, and they've been a pretty solid team all year round. Winston-Salem State's kind of had some stretches where they look like the champs, and had some stretches where they just haven't been able to maintain it. And so I'm going to go with a more steady team this year. I'm going to go conservative, and I'm going to say Bowie State.
Okay, so in this conversation, we've learned that you're a risk taker who goes conservative.
Right. A would-be risk taker.
A would-be. You're a risk taker in denial. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I did not look at your picks. You emailed them to me before our show here, but I did not look at them until after I made mine. So I'll quickly run through where I agree and disagree. I, too, have St. Aug flying high for a couple of days. I like the way Gaskins has been playing. January, I think, is going to give the crowd something to cheer for. But I, too, have them losing to Bowie. I have Lincoln defeating Livingstone as well. They've done it once before. I think Livingstone is – you hate to win a really, really big game going into the tournament sometimes, at least as an outsider. That's the way I see it. So emotionally, can they regroup? I'm sure that they can, but I'm just going to go with Lincoln in this game. And I differ from you. I say Lincoln gets over the hump and beats Bowie, and Lincoln will be in the championship game. Let's go to the bottom of the bracket. Shaw lost their point guard. Their point guards have been suspended. They have not been the same team since. I think they might, in some ways, be glad that their season ends on day one. Union taking on Smith. I agree that they're going to win that game. I mean, I agree that Union's going to beat Shaw, and I agree that Smith is going to beat Union. And Winston-Salem State, I agree with you as well, will beat Smith. And I'm going to go chalk. Have not seen Virginia State play, but just going by the records, Virginia State, Winston-Salem State on a Friday night with the Rams advancing. And in my final, I have Lincoln and Winston-Salem State. And as a disclaimer, this is not a homer pick. I just think Winston-Salem State will defeat Lincoln for the CIAA title. So we both have the Rams there. One of us have them winning. One of us have them losing. We both could be totally wrong. But, hey, the fun is in picking.
Yeah, I mean, the way this team this year is going, I wouldn't be surprised if by the time Friday came around, our brackets look like crap. I mean, you really don't know this year. Like, there's no dominant team, really. There's no dominant players. It's just going to be whoever catches fire at the right time.
Well, 11 schools would agree right now that Well, actually, all 12 schools would agree that our bracket looks like crap because we don't have the same exact winner going all the way through. So we'll see. I'll tell you what else we'll see. We will see you in Charlotte. Stephen J. Gaither and Tolly Carr will be there for HBCU Game Day and the CIAA Basketball Championship in Charlotte. It's coming up. We're excited. We'll talk to you soon.